Welcome to This Week from Blue Mountain Broadcasting. I'm your host, Lynelle Ellis, president of Blue Mountain Broadcasting Association, and I'm very glad that you tuned into the program today. I'm going to be interviewing two fascinating gentlemen, Bill Pogue and Scott Morash, who are working with Skyline Adventures and helping people who would not normally be able to enjoy skiing and snowboarding to be able to enjoy that sport. Really looking forward to my talk with them. So be sure to stay tuned for that and also for our station news at the end of the program. Let's start now with our devotional thought. Contentment. What does it mean? Well, according to the dictionary, contentment is an emotional state of satisfaction that can be seen as a mental state, maybe drawn from being at ease in one's situation, body, and mind. Contentment is a state of mind. A wonderful place to be in your soul, filled with contentment. Paul the Apostle talks about contentment. He has only good things to say about being in a state of contentment. And in his first letter to his young friend Timothy, he says, "But godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into the world, and we can take nothing out of it. But if we have food and clothing, we will be content with that." But it isn't that easy to be content, is it? A feeling of discontent can so easily creep into a person's life. Having an inner peace is really a valuable thing in life, but sometimes situations in which we find ourselves can push us into being discontented, dissatisfied. You know, if we let the world around us, what's on the outside, control our mood and control our happiness, then it is nearly impossible to stay content. The other day, my daughter and I were talking about contentment and inner peace, and it made me take a hard look at myself when she asked me, "Mom, are you content?" I had to think. I told her, yes, most of the time, but not always. And then she asked me, "Mom, how do you get contentment?" What a question. We talked about how the peace and inner joy that God gives us helps us to be content. And since that bedtime conversation, I've done a lot more thinking about this subject. I realize that there are times when I am not contented, when I let the outside situations of life control my mood too much and disrupt my contented state. And I've been thinking about the term locus of control. Do I have an external or internal locus of control? According to the field of psychology, if a person has an internal locus of control, that person attributes success to his or her own efforts and abilities. A person who expects to succeed will be more motivated and more likely to learn. A person with an external locus of control who attributes his or her successes to luck or fate will be less likely to make the effort needed to learn. People with an external locus of control are also more likely to experience anxiety, since they believe that they are not in control of their lives. Well, I do believe that this definition is helpful, but it's incomplete. It leaves out the whole element of the work of God in a person's life. I think that having an internal locus of control means letting the inner life with God be the governing perspective in a person's life, rather than letting the external situations of life determine our happiness. According to psychologists, some personalities tend more toward an internal locus of control, and some personalities tend more toward an external locus of control. But no matter which personality type we have, I think we all can, through God's power, move toward contentment. And it probably doesn't come very naturally. We probably need to be trained in the direction of an inner locus of control and an inner contentment. After all, Paul also wrote in his letter to the Philippian church, "I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through Him who gives me strength." These are powerful words. I have learned to be content. As we follow God, as we let Him into our hearts, as we ask Him to direct our lives, we realize that He is in control. We don't need to be filled with anxiety. We can trust Him. He will bring to us peace, joy, and inner contentment. Lately, I've been challenged to really apply these things in my own heart. I confess that the continuing challenges of the pandemic have really threatened my state of contentment. I find myself feeling frustrated and uneasy, wondering when or if things will ever get back to normal. I feel especially disappointed that my children's teen years are in many ways being overwhelmed by our global crisis. But in these times, I must learn to trust God, look to Him, ask for His presence of peace in my heart. We can all do this. Only God can calm our hearts and give us the inner contentment that we long for. May we invite Him to give us contentment today. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Joining me now are Bill Pogue, the president of Skyline Adventures, and Scott Morash, who's a ski instructor at Bluewood. And it is so good to have the two of you on the program today to share about something really exciting going on up at Bluewood with Skyline Adventures. So first of all, Bill, could you tell us just a little bit about what Skyline Adventures is? What do you do?
Well, what we do is transform lives by bringing skiing and snowboarding into the lives of people that otherwise would never be able to experience it. For instance, especially high-risk youth, citizens with special needs, healing veterans, disabled people, and we just want to. It's the best way we know how to serve the community is by sharing the pristine slopes of Bluewood with people that need it most and can benefit most from it.
That's really great because skiing can kind of be a bit of a culture.
Absolutely.
And sometimes other people have not really gotten into it or even known they had an opportunity to.
Exactly. And there's a lot of, especially kids in our area, that don't even know Bluewood exists. And when they get up there, it's just an eye-opener, and they fall in love with it. Most kids, if they fall down, get up, and repeat enough times, they'll learn how to ski or snowboard. That's, they can't help it. That's how they learn how to walk.
Sure.
And so our main thing is just, getting kids and citizens up there that otherwise wouldn't be able to get up there, and introduce them to the exciting sport and lifetime sport of skiing and snowboarding.
Sure. So Skyline Adventures then is a nonprofit organization.
Nonprofit, right.
In partnership, in a way, with Bluewood, or
kind of
working with them?
Without Bluewood, we wouldn't exist. That's for sure. I mean, the ownership, the staff, everybody is 1,000% behind us, as well as the community. We get great community support. we raise money during the year. You know, we get lots of grants from organizations like Bluewood Blue Mountain Community Foundation, their Valley Giving Guide, which
Yes.
was really successful this year. Wild Horse Foundation, Pacific Power Foundation. I don't want to forget anybody here.
Say, hey, you didn't mention us.
You know, yes, honey, you haven't given us any money yet. And then just lots of individual supporters.
Yes.
You know, during the year, and we've been actually kind of growing and gaining trust for about 10 years up there, so we're not going anyplace.
Mm-hmm. And you've been focusing on adaptive gear, adaptive
Right.
equipment.
Right.
Is that one of your more recent focuses? Or?
Yes. We main reason we started that. Well, there's a couple reasons. The main reason was disabled veterans.
Yes.
We brought, for years, we brought a lot of veterans up from the VA hospital that are in the, what they call the Residential Recovery Unit, RRU. And a lot of those guys, they could get up there, but they just couldn't do it. I mean, they're, you know, for years they've been kind of going through this, you know,
Yeah,
trouble.
sure.
Yeah. And so we get them up there, they go out and they come back and sit down. They couldn't do it. So now we can take probably almost 90% of the vets up there that we couldn't do it before, because usually it was really minimal. Well, some of the guys just couldn't go. And then we had, I know that we had this one kid that came up with another program we have in Pasco. It's called Cops and Kids, where police officers go out into the community and get these kids and bring them up there just to prove like they're just regular people.
Mm-hmm.
And had a kid that was in a wheelchair, and he'd come up with them every time and then watch them. Well, now he can take them out there and scare him just like the rest of them.
I love it. That's great. So Scott, you actually get to work with these people as an instructor. Do you have special training then? You've sort of specialized in this.
Well, I do get to work with them, and it's a great joy. Yes, there is some training that we've done. It's with this tool.
Yeah, tell me about this.
And others. This is a snow ski for people who can't use their legs. And even some who have limited use of their legs. In fact, one of our first users was a student here at Walla Walla University. Mm-hmm. And she's been up several times since then and thoroughly enjoys it. The tool affords the person in the chair the opportunity, if they're physically able, to actually use it themselves. They have to learn. It's
like
along the way,
would
there's a
have to
learning
learn
curve,
skiing.
and that's my job, is to help them learn how to use this tool. It's a very sophisticated tool. It's got hydraulics on it for smoother ride. The skis are articulated, so they actually perform just like my skis.
Yes.
And so the student needs to learn how those things behave. And you know, the hope is someday that we'll find someone that we put in this thing, give them the beginning lessons and the intermediate lessons, and they become free on the mountain, just like I am.
Yes.
And when they get that freedom, that wonderful feeling of snow skiing, the smiles grow. That's where I get paid. I mean, it is just amazing. One student said after the first run down the hill, they said, "My face hurts." And as the person behind them, I'm going, "Oh, what did we do?" And they then said to us, "I have never smiled so much in my life." Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
It puts me, I'm doing something I do love and giving it to someone else, and there's no better rewards. There aren't. So we have this is a brand new one, this year. We have another one that was reconditioned before last year, and then we actually have a smaller one for younger kids even still. So we have 3 skis. Currently have 2 instructors at Bluewood that are trained and continuing training, and we have others that are interested, and so we'll get there. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and do you have other adaptive equipment as well that maybe not as extensive as this, or is this pretty much what we have?
Well, there's not much else in the way of adaptive equipment. There's some outriggers that are used with people who are able to use them, and if they're going to use the ski by themselves, they have to have those outriggers.
Sure.
It just doesn't work without. But beyond that, there's not a lot of other adaptive equipment out there. Some things for blind skiers.
Wow.
Yeah, we haven't gotten that opportunity yet.
Okay.
But so this is really the kind of the
This is the
focal
tool.
point. This
Yeah.
is the tool, and you know, we just are thrilled for Skyline Adventures. I am, and so is Mike, the other instructor, that Skyline Adventures saw fit to do this, to give us this tool, and then we get to share it with some people who've given a lot, and some people who've just experienced a lot, and that normally abled people haven't. And it is so powerful.
People who
to do
never
that.
thought they were going to go down the hill. Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty
Exactly
cool.
right. Very cool.
So I can tell that, you know, this is pretty rewarding for both of you. And I know that you're working with this population that just thought they couldn't ski, thought they couldn't do it with some physical things. What other groups are you finding just didn't realize that skiing or snowboarding was even an option for them?
Well, we work, you know, in this area, we work with a lot of Hispanic citizens, and it's just not in our culture to do it. And but there's another group that we're working with that it's not even, you know, it's even you know, more challenging than the Hispanics. We work with a Boy Scout troop in the Tri-Cities that work with Muslim refugee children.
Oh, yes.
And also there's another group there that mentor refugees from all over the world. A lot of them from Africa, and a lot of these guys, they've never even seen snow.
Right.
You know, so, but they're athletic. They're really athletic, most of these guys, and once they get up there, it's just boom. They love it.
You need to expose them to what you can do for fun in a wintry place. Yes.
Right. Instead of sitting at home behind a computer on the phone, you know, get them outside, and they all want to come back, and their brothers want to come back, and their friends come back. And so the most challenging part of that is getting the parents to drive back and forth on the slick roads. They just
There is that.
they are so scared.
Yes.
And lately, the transportation has been the largest, you know, roadblock, because you can't take the kids and stuff them in a van, you know, anymore because of COVID. And so getting them up there has been a challenge. But once you get on a mountain, you're outside with a mask, and so
you're free to go.
You're free to go. Right.
Free to enjoy the fresh air.
Absolutely.
Yeah, really great. So I would expect that you have some dreams and some needs for, you know, how you'd like to see the programs with Skyline Adventures grow. What are some of those things?
Well, I think that the programs we have in place now, I think we've reached, I guess, critical mass on what we're not going to add any more programs. We're just, if we want to stay a all volunteer organization. We start getting bigger, and then start having employees and that type of thing. This throws a whole different aspect into it. So we feel that we are right now. We just want to just refine what we have and get better at it. Give us a chance to make a bigger impact in the community. And this really helps getting more exposure.
Yeah, I was thinking helping people to find out about what you're doing would be important.
Yeah, that's right. I've given PowerPoint talks like to Rotary and other places, and virtually every time after my talk, somebody will come up and say, "I had no idea that was going on up there," because, you know, but we're getting the word out more and more. You gave us a call. Whitman called us and wanted to get people up there. So the word's getting out a lot more.
That's really good. We've got just about a minute left, and I want to make sure and give our viewers the opportunity to be able to contact you if they want to support. Probably in the future you'll be needing to purchase additional gear like this one, so they might want to support that. They might also want to reach out to you and say, hey, I know somebody who would love to be a part of this and could participate. And so how do they get in touch with you?
The easiest way is bill@bluewood.com.
bill@bluewood.com. That's pretty simple. We've got it on the screen, so everybody will be able to see that and write it down. And is it easy to get the lessons, you know, once you get up there?
Yes. Bluewood, the ski instructors, we work hand in glove, and all Bill says is we've got someone coming, and I'm free to do that, and so are the other instructors.
And we just have to make sure Scott or Mike are up there, and then we can do it. So, right now we only can do it on Friday and Saturdays. It's the only time we can do the adaptive program.
Sure, that's good to know for people as they're making plans.
Sundays are available if they've let us know enough in advance. We can make that happen.
Okay.
I mean, the ability is one of us can be there, right? And
yes. So if you can arrange it ahead.
if you can arrange it ahead, we can make Sundays happen. Yes.
That's good to know too.
Yes.
Well, I'm just thrilled that we were able to share with our audience something about this. It was new to me, and I've been very happy to learn about it, and thank you for what you're giving to our community.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's talk about station news, the things that are happening. Well, the thing that we are the most excited about, and we were able to share with our board of directors last night, and there was great rejoicing and prayers of thanksgiving around the table, is that we have received a significant amount of help toward our operating budget from the gifts that you have given through the Valley Giving Guide. The Valley Giving Guide total amount that we received by the end of the year was $55,791. So thank you so much to each of you who contributed to Blue Mountain Television in that way. Now remember that they were going to add 10% to those donations that came in, and so that's going to come out to actually $61,370 and some change for Blue Mountain Television's operating budget. And this is just great news because as we looked at in our financial reports last night at the board meeting, that enables Blue Mountain Television to actually end the year as we should without falling behind in our budget. We didn't end the year with a negative number. So really, really great news. Thank you so much. And we are looking forward to moving in now to 2022 in a strong way as we work toward our new facility, as we work toward new programs on the station and connecting better with our community, helping our community to understand how much God loves them, how beautiful His character is, and the great plans that He has for all of us in the future. So a huge thanks to God and to you for those gifts. And those gifts were on top of the money that was raised during our fall fundraiser. So this is just really good. Well, part of that money might have been some that was pledged during the fall share-a-thon, but for the most part, we are just adding on and moving forward with the vision for Blue Mountain Television thanks to these gifts. And I also wanted to let you know that I personally have a big thank you for Daniel and Lowell at Blue Mountain Television and the team at Blue Mountain TV that's going to be working with my class at Walla Walla University. I teach a class in Essentials of Filmmaking. They're just beginning their journey in understanding how to put visual media together. And together, my class and the staff here from Blue Mountain Television are going to be making a promo for the station. And so it's going to be a great learning experience for the students in my class and hopefully a help to the station as well, as they'll have another promo. And this promo is going to be about what's happening at our new facility. What's the latest news? How are we moving forward in that process of getting things ready over there? So you can be watching for that in the future. I'm not sure exactly when, but as soon as my students get it edited, okay, I will share it with you on this program. Also, you must know about something really, really important happening at the station every week, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. What could be more important to this ministry than prayer? Than your prayers, than joining together in prayer. And so you can actually be a part of the live prayer call on Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. by calling this number that I'm going to give to you. It's 435-777-2200. That's the special phone number to call to be a part of this prayer call that happens every Wednesday at 9. It's 435-777-2200. Now, once you call into that number, you'll also need an access code so that you can become a part of the call. And here's the access code. Write this down. 292-5810 #. One more time. 292-5810 #. And that's how you can participate in these prayer calls. You know, at the board meeting last night, we were just giving praise to God and seeing the fruits of prayer and being so grateful for the opportunity to pray for the station. We've had a lot of extra prayer recently and a really active prayer team who've even gone through the new facility and prayed over every room and the people who will work in that room and the things that will be produced in those rooms and the equipment that will be there, and just a lot of extra prayer on behalf of the station. And we are seeing God's blessings in return. So thank you so much for your prayers, for also your gifts, where you have made a very physical commitment to the ministry of Blue Mountain Television. Appreciate it so much. I think that's all that I have for you for today on the show. I'm so glad that you tuned in, and I hope to see you next time.